What's up, collectors? My name is Joe. Welcome to the channel. As you know, I collect a little bit more than just statues, so today we're going to take a look at my other pre-orders. I've been known to pick up the occasional action figure or two in my collection. I tend to focus on stuff that I wanted as a kid but was not able to buy because we didn't have the money. So stuff like getting an Optimus Prime or a Voltron in my collection is something I've always had my eye on. But I like to buy stuff like G.I. Joes, Transformers, and Ninja Turtles, but there are some other lines I do too. For example, I'm a big Star Wars fan, so rather than collecting quarter scale or larger statues for Star Wars, I tend to stick to the Hot Toys range for that line. And another line I've started to collect in the past year are the SH Fig Arts Dragon Ball figures. With the exception of the Hot Toys, I tend to leave my figures in the box, neither display them on a shelf, but most often than not they end up in a bigger box which gets stuck in the garage. I've got to figure out a way to display some of those items in my collection, so let me know if you have any ideas or if you have seen some cool action figure displays that are inside the box. Now let's take a look at what I have on pre-order. Well, as I mentioned, I used to collect quarter scale Star Wars statues, but I really wanted more than what was being offered in that form. Some companies have started to make, like XM Studios, have started to make additional Star Wars statues. They're basically doing the same characters as you had before. I started collecting Hot Toys, especially in the Star Wars line, because they just release much more characters, and they release stuff a lot quickly. Like they have characters and figures available from the last couple of movies, where Sideshow might have one or two. So they really do a good job with releasing a lot more figures, and they're reasonably priced. Usually around the $225, $250 mark, and they just make great quality stuff. I had a bit of a hang up when I first started getting Hot Toys. Being a statue collector, sure, I collect action figures. I like action figures, but I mostly keep them in the box. I don't really pose them or play with them or anything like that personally. So it was a bit of an adjustment. Originally when I started collecting and started up the channel, I thought at first I was gonna do Hot Toys. I bought a couple of them. I pre-ordered a bunch of the Avengers Hot Toys, and then I got the first one in, took it out of the box, started to pose it and whatnot, put them back in, sold them, canceled the pre-orders. I was just gonna stick to statues. But for Star Wars, I really like the line. I kind of got over that hang up. I still don't like posing the things. I usually figure out one pose for them and then leave it in my Bestas or my Detolfs. I actually have 7 boxes of Hot Toys sitting over there in the corner right now, waiting to be opened up and unboxed still. So I have to do that. But I'm really a big fan of Star Wars, and so I have to have Star Wars in my collection. I don't have to, but as a collector, as a collector addict, I have to, right? So this is the first Star Wars figure that is going to be coming in from Hot Toys. I do buy my Hot Toys from Sideshow. I get most of my statues from Sideshow. Sideshow has that reward point system, so I usually use the rewards from my statues on my Hot Toys, and it's paid for more than a couple of my Hot Toys figures, let me tell you. So first one should be coming in July through August is Qui Gon Jinn. You see, Sideshow or anybody else is probably not making a Qui Gon Jinn statue anytime soon. When they do, it's probably going to be between $500 and $750, right? So this guy is, closer to the $200 range. And then what's good, even though I don't like to pose my figures that much, I don't like to play with them that much, you can display them in a variety of different ways. It's not just one static pose, but you can display them in different poses. You can display him in battle with Darth Maul. So even though I don't tend to like that aspect of Hot Toys, it is a great option. They come with so many different accessories. Like here, look at all the accessories that he comes with. A couple of different versions of the lightsabers, hands, costumes, outfits. He comes with a poncho. Just, you can pick your favorite spot from the movie and be able to pose him that way. You could even pose him laying on the floor with a lightsaber burn in his stomach next to Obi-Wan. So they have to release Attack of the Clones Obi-Wan still. After Qui Gon Jinn is the Mandalorian. So this guy's an August, September time frame. So this is from The Mandalorian, as you know, on Disney Plus, a show that I and many other people really enjoyed. Now, I ordered this guy before the deluxe version was announced, which I think was announced a couple months later with Baby Yoda, or the child as they like to call him. I don't have that version on order. Someone mentioned on another of my videos that they contacted Sideshow and they just switched NRD to the deluxe version. They were able to do that. I could probably do that too. I'm not sure that I want to. It would probably be a good idea to. I'll have to see what the big differences are, but I still have yet to do that. So I got to think about that. Do I want to Baby Yoda? Maybe not. We'll see. After The Mandalorian, we'll have Commander Cody. He's September, October release range. These Hot Toys do get delayed, but Sideshow's really good at telling you when they get delayed. So we've got Commander Cody, Revenge of the Sith. He's got that Order 66. I used to have this in quarter scale statue form, and I really liked it. I really like the orange color, kind of adds some color to the collection, which I really liked. You could pose him next to Obi-Wan, recreate some of those scenes from Revenge of the Sith, and a lot of different accessories you can have here. Look at all those accessories. Comes with a lot of different stuff. After Cody, we'll have IG-11 expected around October, November, towards the end of the year. This is going to be a great companion piece to The Mandalorian. And you have Gina Carano in here too. They need to release a Gina Carano figure from The Mandalorian. And an Apollo Creed too. But I really liked this droid. Didn't like IG-88. Didn't care for him. He wasn't a character that stood out for me. But after seeing him in the Mandalorian and what they can make the droids now do, I thought it was a really cool character. Also, October, November, we've got Darth Maul from the Solo movie. So this is the older version of Darth Maul with the mechanical legs. We just saw him very briefly in Solo. He's got those mechanical legs, which I really like. So this is a more mature version of the character. I do have the Attack of the Clones version, not Attack of the Clones, the Phantom Menace version with the speeder. I think that's a great figure. Not sure about having two Darth Maul in my collection, but you gotta have, I think I gotta have a companion for Solo himself. And since I already have two Chewbacca, and they haven't improved upon Chewbacca at all, just the same figure, I don't think I need a third. I could just take one of those other Chewbacca and put them with the new Solo if I want. So last but not least, and this guy is expected April, May of 2021, next year. So this is the first figure from the Star Wars, The Clone Wars. We've got Captain Rex here. He's got that orange helmet from that last season, and he would look good with the Anakin or the Cody that's coming in. I already do have Anakin, but he might be a good companion piece for Anakin. Yeah, he'll go good with that Cody too, Captain Rex. We didn't see him in the movies, although they have said that we saw him during Return of the Jedi. So really hope they stick with the Clone Wars line and they give us an Ahsoka, maybe some other Jedis as well. Yeah, so I'd like to see some more figures. Hopefully we'll see something at Sideshow Con coming up soon. They've shown us a Padme before. I'd like to see a Padme. I'd like to see some other versions of Anakin and Obi-Wan from Attack of the Clones, from the Phantom Menace, so young Anakin, younger Obi-Wan. I'd like to see those characters as well. I think we need a Mace Windu. I think we need a couple of those other Jedi. I think we could use a Senator Palpatine, would be really good too. As far as stuff from the newer movies, I think we still need a Poe Dameron. I'd probably pick that up, but I don't think there's much of anything else that I need from the new movies. I have several of those characters already, just I think missing a Poe Dameron. So that's it for the Star Wars line. like I said, really like the Star Wars line from Hot Toys. All right, heading over to a Big Bad Toy Store. I buy my statues, I buy my Hot Toys from Sideshow. Like I said, I like to make use of their reward points, so it was really cool. But as far as action figures, I usually get those from the Big Bad Toy Store. So for action figures, I like to pick up stuff that I wasn't able to buy as a kid. I was big into G.I. Joes as a kid, as I'm sure many of you were watching this channel. So I didn't have a lot of money as a kid, so maybe only had a couple. I had friends who had a lot of G.I. Joe figures. I had one friend, they have beds that are hidden in the wall and they drop down from the wall, you pull it down. Well, I had friends who rather than I had a friend who rather than he pulled it down, there was a bed. Well, there was a G.I. Joe Battlefield and play set that he had on there, which was crazy. So I always have my eyes on stuff like this, like Transformers. I've always wanted a Voltron in my collection. I never got that Voltron as a kid. I haven't picked one up as an adult. I keep hinting to my wife, hey, I never had a Voltron, but I like to buy the stuff that I wasn't able to buy as a kid. So we have I'm gonna get the G.I. Joe Classified series. Wave 1 has Roadblock, Duke, Scarlet, Destro, Snake Eyes. I don't think I had any of the actual cast members. I probably had the throwaways, the figures you don't remember, you don't know the name of, anything like that. So certainly never had a Destro, never had Scarlet, never had any of these. So this is something that I would definitely never had Duke. I might have had Duke. That might have been the one that I did have, but this is something that I'll just keep in the box. Still haven't figured out how to display this stuff in the box. If you guys know of any cool collections I can check out of people who keep their action figures in the box and display them, send them my way. I definitely never had Snake Eyes. We've got the Wave 2 on order 2, which includes a Cobra Commander, Gung Ho, and a Red Ninja. Still waiting for that Storm Shadow. Definitely never had Cobra Commander as a kid. We've got this Prophet Director Destro, which is kind of a pimped out version of Destro. So he's got a gold face rather than chrome. He's got a leopard print. He's got a crazy looking cape. He's got that gold briefcase. He's got some sweet sunglasses, a case full of money, and he's burning it. He's so rich, he's burning it. So, I can't, even as an adult, I can't resist figures like this. So just gotta have it. All right, so now we'll look at a line that I didn't collect as a kid because they didn't have this when I was a kid. I probably would have liked it. May have liked it, I don't know. I don't know if I would have liked Dragon Ball as a kid, but started liking it as an adult. So I started collecting these Dragon Ball SH Figuarts figures. Actually got into last week. So I've got the Jackie Chun here from the OG series, and then I've got Ultra Instinct Goku here too. Actually had to get this guy. I couldn't get this guy on Big Bad Toy Store. He sold out. I think he's available now, but he sold out. So when they sell it on a Big Bad Toy Store, I tend to just wait a month and get them on Amazon. Usually they come back in stock on Big Bad Toy Store too. So I probably have like 24 of these figures. My aim is to get a lot of the major characters. I've occasionally gotten some of the non-major characters too, so I gotta cut that out. So first up we have Yamcha here, and you gotta have him. OG Z Fighter, fighting the Cyberman, so we gotta have Yamcha. Then we have Captain Ginyu. They did reveal that they are gonna release more of the Ginyu Force, or all of the Ginyu Force, but I think I'm just gonna stick with Captain Ginyu. We've got the Final Battle Jiren. I do have the other Jiren. I haven't even made it to this part in Dragon Ball Super. I'm behind. I did finally finish Dragon Ball Z, and I have started to make my way through Dragon Ball Super. I think I'm still on that first Blu-ray disc, but I do have the first Jiren, and this is the Final Battle Jiren, which I don't know anything about yet. Obviously, I know Jiren's in it. I know he's fighting Ultra Instinct Goku. That's hard to not know, but I still don't know this exact story, but a really cool character there. And we have Piccolo here, the proud Namekian. You gotta have Piccolo. If you have the others, you gotta have Piccolo. Piccolo is a must-have in the collection. So he's been released before, but they tend to update their characters as they go. But I'm not currently taking these out of the box. I have them displayed in the box right now. I don't have a spot to display them outside of the box, but I would consider taking them outside of the box. I do leave a lot of my action figures in the box. I don't really have a spot to display them now, but I've been starting to, or I will start to get in some Maju cases. I'm planning on getting some Maju cases specifically for the Hot Toys and the smaller scale figures. So be thinking about displaying those outside of the box at some point too. And actually I missed one. There's still one left, and that's Kid Gohan. It comes with the Dragon Ball, comes with 2 different head versions. You're gonna have him to go along with Piccolo. Comes with that Dragon Ball radar. So there's the scene that you got to recreate right there. Used to actually have a statue of that, but ended up getting rid of that as I decided to not do Dragon Ball statues. That's a whole nother can of worms, Dragon Ball statues, right? So those are the SH Fig Arts that I have on pre-order. There are a couple of more actually I have on pre-order at Premium Bandai. I think I have the Vegito, and I have I think it's Zamasu. I don't know why I ordered that one, but Vegito is a good one to have in the collection. I have Gogeta already, so I have Vegito there too, and then we'll figure out how to get these displayed at some point. Right, if you watch this channel, you know I'm a fan of Warhammer 40k. I don't play the game, but I'm definitely a fan of the lore. I think I've only played the game actually once or twice since I was a teenager, but it's just a hobby I do not have time for, but I love. So I tend to read the novels, I play the video games, I watch an occasional battle report on YouTube, but I collect as well. I do have actually some miniatures in my collection, but Games Workshop for a long time used to hold their license tight. They wouldn't let anybody outside of themselves make anything Warhammer related. Well, now they've started to, so people have started to make statues, action figures, etc. One of those companies is McFarlane Toys. They've started to release a Warhammer 40k line of statues. Figures, action figures. So first one up, this is an Ultramarines Primaris Interceptor. So cool to pair with that Gilliman versus Chaos Space Marine diorama I have. Probably will not take him out of the box, but we'll see. And then to go with him, we have a Necron Warrior. I'm not a big Necron fan. I tend to like the Space Marines, but this will go good with the Ultramarines, especially now that Warhammer 40k is releasing their newest 9th edition. That Indominus box set is Necrons versus Ultramarine. This works perfectly with that release. Didn't realize it at the time, but hey, it works. And finally, we have some Transformers. Transformers was another line as a kid that I wasn't able to buy a lot of. I maybe had 1 or 2. Never had an Optimus Prime, a Bumblebee, a Hot Rod, any of the major characters. So always wanted to add some Transformers collectibles to my collection. Statue prices are a bit outrageous for these. And I don't mean that they shouldn't be priced that way, as they're complicated, they're complex, they're big. Statues, Imaginarium art, Pop Culture Shock. Pop Culture Shock is more reasonable, and then Prime 1 Studios, really expensive stuff. So I've decided to go with action figures for Transformers. So right now I'm picking up the 3-0 line from that Bumblebee movie, because they had more a classic look than the modern movies. So these stuff has already come out already, and now they're having a new wave of releases. So this guy should be coming in sometime in July. So this is a Blitzwing from that Bumblebee movie. Should be coming in soon. And we've got Bumblebee expected 3rd quarter of this year. But he's already been released previously. Of course, got to have the Optimus Prime coming in. They do make like premium versions of these, and they are more like quarter scale statue size. But I have the smaller versions, the deluxe versions with some light up features there. So modern versions of classic Transformers. And one that hasn't been released yet is the Soundwave with Ravage. So this guy is expected 3rd quarter of this year as well. So did like the design of the Transformers more in this movie. I think we saw Starscream there too. and some of the others. So I really hope 3-0 continues this line. If they continue it, I'll continue it. All right, so those are the figures and other collectibles I have on order. There are 2 other collectibles that I want to keep as mystery collectibles. I've got 2 different versions of the same character coming in. I don't want to reveal what that's going to be. I just want to keep it as a surprise. They're not action figures. They're not statues. It's kind of something in between, but something I've wanted for a while. A couple of companies are releasing a different version of it, so I want to be able to compare the 2, and then I'll probably keep one of them, but I want it to be a surprise on those, so I'm going to keep that close to the chest there. Well, this channel isn't going to turn into an action figure or a Hot Toys channel. I might do some unboxings with the stuff as I get them in, Transformers, Hot Toys, different things like that, but it's not going to be like full reviews like Pixel Dan or Shartimus Prime or anything like that. I don't think I have the knowledge with figures to be able to make informed reviews and stuff, but I'll show them off a little bit kind of as a filler for when statues are not coming in, and then with statues we'll do the full unboxing, we'll do old school classic style review as well. So let me know what you guys think of some of the other collectibles that I'm bringing into my collection. Let me know if there's anything other than statues that you guys collect as well. Do you like picking up action figures? Do you like collecting comic books, omnibuses, etc.? I do get in the occasional omnibuses, like those IDW collections, like some of the Absolute editions, different things like that. Also do get in some occasional pops, though I don't tend to collect them. They just kind of hang around until I get rid of them. Appreciate you checking out the video. Make sure you check out Statue Talk every Sunday morning, where I share my thoughts and opinions on upcoming previews, pre-orders, and share with you updates to my collection. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to keep up to date on all of my latest unboxings and reviews. And remember, collecting is more than just a hobby, it's a lifestyle. My name is Joe. Thanks for watching.